We walked in if I had my way, but apparently we're not allowed to do that anymore.
We can install wheels on his legs.
He's 15.
Oh my God.
Just to show you how we...
No, this is a Piaggio.
Here we are. We're here. This is the top of the Downs up here, and this leaf green one is called the Lewis chalk that outcrops at the top of the Downs. And then as you go further south towards us, towards Brighton and the sea, the chalk gets younger and younger and younger. But if you look round the Molescombe Valley, in fact more or less exactly sitting in the Molescombe Valley and finishing up by Falmouth School, by Ashurst Road, you can see that the Lewis chalk, the older chalk, actually outcrops again. And this is Hollingbury and Hollingbury Camp up here, and it outcrops on the north. And I think there was a kind of pinch point here. There was a thing called an anticline just over the far side of Hollingbury Hill, around Denton Road, around there. And I think effectively what happened was that the whole of the chalk layers was squeezed upwards, and a bit like squeezing a blackhead. And all the older layers of chalk were pushed up through the younger layers. So when you're here, you're looking at chalk which is older by many millions of years than the chalk in the rest of Brighton. Is my point. I came up here yesterday morning. I thought I'd better rehearse this walk before I actually do it. And I tell you, the bird song up here was superb.
In the evenings, it's great. Yeah. Unbelievable.
Song thrush.
You know, yeah.
Yeah, beautiful song thrush. Yeah. And coming up to here, to this glade here, there was a blackcap singing, and she or he was starting very. They must get out of bed late, blackcap, compared to wrens and things like that, because she was going to tweet, 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 like, and stopping, and then tweet, tweet, and I thought, what is that? What is that? And I kind of worked out after about 10 minutes that it was blackcap, but I'm not that good at birds anyway. So I went off and wandered around the wood, and then came back round here, and she'd had a breakfast, and she'd got oiled, and she was doing this rushing blackcap trills and flourishes and that, you know, and then deep, almost nightingale notes, up and down like this. She was really going for it. So they take time getting up in the morning, you know. But once you start, that's blackcap, isn't it?
Is it?
I think. It might be a robin. Here we are. You get things like this. Sorry?
Yeah.
You get things like this. Now this here, it's got a funny Latin name. It's called Ivernia. Ivernia prunastri, which we can forget as soon as we've remembered it. Yeah. But what's interesting about it is if you go to places in Eastern Europe still, and I think they used to do it here too, in England, this is collected commercially by the sackful from their forest. They have people who go out collect that. It's used as a base for perfumes. It's used as a base for perfumes.
I didn't know that.
And I think it must be because it has a gelatine element, a bit like comfrey. You know, some of those things that they don't look as though they're particularly gelatinous, but actually they are. Now this thing here is this thing is called Parmelia. These are Parmelia perlata, this one. And you get lots and lots of this in the trees down there, and it's a very handsome grey thing when you get a lot of it on a trunk, and that used to have its own special species of slug associated with it, which just specialised in eating that particular species, and it used to be very common around Brighton, and it's knocked on the head now because air pollution means that you don't get the lichen, so you don't get the slug. You know.